He was always asking me, T said you ought to really come up. He said they would enjoy your music and just come up and visit and hang out. So I did, and this band, the Motherlode, was on TV in 1970, and I saw them and I heard it, and I got in touch with Danny, because I didn't really know him as Smitty then, and I came up to visit him with my band. And we were playing down Virginia Beach, Virginia. I think the name of the place was, actually I don't remember the name, maybe Leo's, I think that was the name of that club. And we had a quartet, so I brought the band up for Thanksgiving to visit Danny. And then we came up for it, and he gave us a great welcome, Thanksgiving. He welcomed the whole band, he honored us, he invited all of his friends over to meet us. A great friend of his, Diane Brooks, who used to sing with Rob McConnell and the Boss Brass, came over and cooked a great meal for us, and it was just a great visit. We stayed for a week, and then we went back to Virginia, because we were working, we were playing, and then we got a call to come back here to play at a club called Soul City that was down on, and Edwin Starr had this hit out called War. You know, War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
That one. And so we became the house band at Soul City. And our band consisted of baritone sax, who also played drums, and a drummer, and a tenor saxophone player named Jimmy Roberts, who's a really good friend. He lives in Long Beach. We stay in close contact. And he played with Rod Stewart. I know I've been to at least 6 or 7 Rod Stewart concerts, because he's the saxophone player in Rod Stewart's band for about 13 years. So anyway, that led to me being here. So I wanted to, I have so many songs here, and I had, so the 3 things that I wanted to say, one was that it's also Valentine's Day coming up, and I would like to wish everybody happy Valentine's. And
Sing some love songs for us?
yes, I'll do some love songs. I guess the most famous Valentine song is My Funny Valentine.
Yeah. Sing that. Sing what?
And I actually wrote a Valentine song that I call Ms. Right, and that's Mizzright. And so I think what I'll do, I'll play a little, so can I remember My Funny Valentine, and then I'll just run it into my tune, Ms. Right, and see how they come together for Valentine's. Okay, so let's see. Valentine's Day today. Valentine's so special in the morning time, after dreaming of you all through the night, to awake and kiss your smile in the morning time, whispers to me it's right. Don't you know you make my heart lighter than air? You take my heart, my soul right into flight. Whenever you need me, lady, I'll be there. I love you so, it's right. Honey, happy Valentine's Day. Every day, I love you so. Honey, happy Valentine's Day. And every way, want you to know. Even when it's not even Valentine's, all my days are as romantic as the nights. All my heart burns for you at the evening time. I love you so, it's right. Don't you know you make my heart lighter than air? You take my heart, my soul right into flight. Whenever you need me, lady, I'll be there. I love you so, that's right. I love you so, that's right. I love you so, want you to know. I love you so. That's right. Okay, so let me see now. I had my little format here. Sometimes I write out a lot of stuff, and I do everything except nothing that I wrote out. Let's see. Let me see. I said, it's quite a few songs here. Okay, but anyway, more with the story. So from Virginia and coming up to Toronto, and everybody was writing, a lot of the musicians, young musicians, older musicians, everybody's writing songs. And that's what kind of got me into writing songs. I hadn't really written a song before I came to Toronto. So I'm inspired by coming to Canada, and I've learned a lot about writing songs. Some of the greatest songs I've heard, like actually, even when I was very young, like 16, younger, 15, 16, I knew Canadian Sunset. Like I'm one of the few musicians who I know that played Canadian Sunset, because it's a beautiful song. As a matter of fact, let me just play a little of Canadian Sunset, just to get the Canadian vibe, because it's just so beautiful. Gee. Thank you. So I keep forgetting that my mic up. My mother Telia came up and visited, and she knows the Queen of Gospel. She loves Mahalia Jackson, and I grew up with her listening to Mahalia Jackson, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and she taught a couple. When she came, she taught quite a few of my friends, including me, a couple of gospel tunes. And one of the tunes is called "Somebody Prayed for Me," and this is kind of a sing along. You know, I'll keep it in sequence. You know, somebody prayed for me, my mother prayed for me, my father prayed for me, my Jesus prayed for me. And so this is the gospel round. Because you know, a lot of times, I met James Brown on Sir James Brown on Blues Brothers 2000. And I had that movie, and I had an opportunity to open up the set where they're singing John the Revelator. And who's that writing? John the Revelator. So anyway, I'm the keyboard player in that scene. And they shot a great deal of it here, actually over near Cherry Beach. So I had the privilege to sit out beside James Brown and talk to him for a while, and him and I was sitting at the organ together. He plays some organ too, like he really loves the organ. And so I had the privilege to meet him, and one of the songs, let me see, James Brown is known probably by the younger generation more for, he's known as the godfather of soul. And then the funk, they call it. And that's when the popular groove changed. It was like a revolution. Like after James Brown, drummers didn't play the same no more. All over the world, like the kind of music that he did, and what the drummers had to play, because he's a dancer, you know. So the rhythm is really goes along with the way James Brown danced, and he influenced a lot of people, Michael Jackson, and so James Brown. I wanted to show, you know, like James Brown was a heartthrob singer. Like I remember James Brown, all of his tunes were ballads. Please, 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 you know. And he would throw in the cake, and the guy would, he's trying, the guy go, let me see how this, James Brown, first he would fall down on his knees because he's a heartthrob, and he's brave, he's begging the lady to take him back. And blues, that's what blues music is really about. But the feeling of it is really all for gospel music. Like, I mean, it's like all of the popular music, you know, even into the rap and all of it, and all of these different labels that they give everything. All of that music is really charged out of gospel music. They just change the words. You know? Like I used to see my mother there, she called it she said the holy dance. I said the holy dance. She goes, I said, wow, you know. So, you know, you've been picking up that energy from gospel music, and because it's such a good spirit. So one of the tunes that she taught us was "Somebody Prayed for Me," and I just do a little bit of gospel of it. I'm so glad you prayed. Jesus prayed for me, had me on his mind, took a little time to pray for me. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed for me. My father prayed for me, had me on his mind, took a little time to pray for me. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed for me. Somebody prayed for me, had me on their mind, took a little time to pray for me. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed for me. My mother prayed for me, had me on her mind, took a little time to pray for me. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed for me. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed for me. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed for me. So and now let's see. So while I was here in Canada, and I've been here since 70.
70.
70, yes, 70. So I've had a chance to meet a lot of great Canadian musicians, and I've learned a lot of music. I've had to keep up with some of these guys. They're like, wow. So, and I've had a chance to write, and I started some clubs, and my friend Jim Heineman and I, we started a scene down at the Rex Hotel down on Queen Street, and we used to convince the guy to try live jazz. And I bought a Hammond B3 organ up from Virginia when I came. And so I love piano as well, but organ is my first. I guess I kind of got the feel of playing organ and piano growing up playing my aunt's piano and pump organ, because the touch is a little different. So one of the tunes that I wrote is called Last of the Blues. And I also have it on an album. And actually my website is johntdavis.ca. Yeah, that's my organ there. You can see the popsicle stick. And that's perfect because I'm talking about the Rex. And when you're playing and you have an emergency, you gotta do a makeshift real quick so you can keep the show going. So I broke a key one night, and the key just part of the key was still in, but the other part was up like that. So we was trying to, so I got, it's like a splint. So my organ actually has a splint. And when I left it like that, it was just better to leave it, whatever the organ repairman come in, so it's just better to leave it like that, it's working. So I've had this splint in this key here, what's that, a C? Yeah, so and that's the Rex Hotel, and that's the organ that we started, the Rex with. We were on a cruise. I was visiting in Virginia, and Jim got in touch with me, and we went on a cruise, and we played down the Caribbean and Venezuela on a ship for around 4 months. Actually, we were there the first time, and we asked the owner of the Rex, did he want to try? And he said, no. So anyway, we came back, we asked him again, and we went on another cruise. So we came back and we asked him again. He said, well, look, come on in. And I took an electric piano, and I had a bass unit, and we went in there, and so he said, well, come in, do an audition, and we'll give you 2 weeks and see what it's like. So Jim said, he said, you really have to bring the organ. I said, well, if you guarantee us a month, I'll bring the organ down. So I bought the organ, and we were in there 2 years. We were the only band in there 2 years. Every weekend, the crowds were tremendous. Like, it would be lineups. And some of the people used to sneak in. I think we were 19, but you could, and the ones 18, I think they would sneak in. And some of them, I still, they're 30 now, they're 38, 40, 35, and they remember us from the Rex. So it's like a history of young people that's gone on, because time has gone back. And as time go by, if you keep consistent with something, well, all of the things that you did a long time ago, well, because they still remember you. I'd be surprised. And young people say, like I really, that's Jim Heineman there. That's my brother in music. And Jim and I have played many, many different places and different venues and different music and strict ballroom tempos and for the cruise ships and cha-cha and mambo and jazz and Thelonious Monk and Coltrane and our own stuff. Jim's got some beautiful music as well, he writes. And playing piano and playing organ, I personally like Thelonious Monk, Thelonious Sphere Monk. And he has some famous tunes. He has Around Midnight is one of Monk's famous jazz tunes. And Monk was kind of funny, I got a story about Monk. The interviewer, like Monk was doing a concert, and he had this interviewer with him going everywhere he went, writing down data on Thelonious Monk. So one night, Thelonious Monk was playing at this club, and Count Basie was in the club. And Count Basie was admiring Thelonious Monk. And so Count Basie, I guess he got close to the piano. He was sitting over there, and he came and got close to the piano. And he was looking, he was admiring Thelonious Monk's musical ability, plus and the tunes that he wrote. Monk's a great songwriter. So when they finished, Monk was talking to the interviewer. He said, why was he looking at me like that? He said, the next time he does a concert, I'm going to look at him. So I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, let me play a tune by Thelonious Monk. Here's one called, like Monk, all of Thelonious Monk's tunes had different kind of names. There's a famous one called, for years, a lot of people think that it's Mysterioso, but it's actually Mr. Iosa. And I'll play a little bit of it to give you an idea. So when you hear it, you'll know this tune I'm talking about. It goes on. that's Mr. Eosa. And this one, Bartholomew's Monk, is rhythmony. Yes, rhythmony. It goes Thank you.
Thank you very much, John T. It's time for tea and coffee and then come back, and I think there might be a duet about to happen after tea.